Hey y'all, it's me. I'm not even in a mood to do Queen Sugar. I'm gonna try to do that on my lunch. Right now, I'm just, oh girl, I'm going through. Basically, I have anxiety, and I kind of want to talk about it, but I don't even know really where to go with this. Not sure exactly how to address it, because the girls are gonna get mad if I really get into it. Oh, the sky is really pretty today. But anyway, I get in these moods very, very, very frequently, where I just don't feel like nothing. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to lay in my bed and, just lay there. That's my, my depression and all of that. Topped off, on top of the depression, I have really bad anxiety. Really, really bad. I mean, to the point where I haven't seen my best friend in over a year. And the last time I saw her, I hadn't seen her probably in a year before that. So, I mean, it's really, really bad. I don't do nothing but get up, go to work, come home. Get up, go to work, come home. Watch a show, do a review on my way to work, come home. Like, that's it. That's all I have. That's all I can do. And to me, it's not the worst. It's not super, super bad. It's not the worst thing for me. It's not like I'm out getting into anything, in trouble, blah, blah, blah. I just go home and go to work and go home and go to work. My family, and I know they hate it when I say my family. The girls, when I say my family, them fighting words right there. The girls just, they can't take it. But whatever. My family, I was born into a group of nitpickers. I was born into a group of people who, for some reason, feel like disrespect is a way to show love. And on top of my depression, on top of my anxiety, I just don't have it to do. Like, I'm not finna deal with you type of girl. Even when I wasn't really, really bad in my depression and anxiety, I'm not one that's gonna let you talk crazy to me and just be like, oh, that's just how she is. That's not who I am. I'm a pop off. I'm a pop off type of girl. From the time I was really little, my mama used to give me, and if I were you, I would blah, blah, blah. I had to be 2 or 3, and I looked at my mom in her face and I told her, I'm not you. I give her that. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. I don't mean to be rude. But I'm not finna let you run me over. I'm not finna let you disrespect me. And I'm not finna let you think that you can call me all sorts of whatevers and names and treat me some kind of way just because I have anxiety. It's not a demon. Anxiety is not a demon. Depression is not a demon. Introversion, depression may just very well be a demon. But introversion is not a demon. My grandmother told me that introversion is just the whole natural experience of being an introvert is demonic. And I just don't think so. I think by its very definition, introversion is someone who has to think to process. I don't have to speak to process. I have to think to process. I am someone who is inward. All of my processing is inward. That's not demonic. That's not the devil. That's not, something that we really need to pray about and fast and lay hands on. It's just not that serious. I just love to be by myself, with myself. Now, introversion's not really a problem. Anxiety, on the other hand, I really don't necessarily feel like that's demonic. I feel like that's just a product of my upbringing. Because my family, they freak out all the time. Everything is a problem all the time, constantly. I have to screen my family's calls. The only person out of my entire family that I don't screen is my mama. When she's calling, I'll pick up. Anybody else, if I'm not in the mood, I'm not going to pick up because I'm not going to allow you to change my mood today. Because everything is an issue. I was taking Harvard classes from Harvard. And I told my grandma, that's not special. You're not going to get the degree and blah, blah, blah. And you ain't doing, girl. So I stopped doing Harvard classes. And now I'm working, regular old retail, like the rest of the girls, not doing anything. Because my family has a very distinct way of talking me out of doing anything ever. I went to California. I was out there. I was like, okay, well, let me find my way. Let me do a couple things. Let me figure it out, blah, blah, blah. I was out there for 2 months and my family talked me back down here. My great-grandfather is giving, I'm about to die and blah, blah, blah. And my mama, every time I talk to her, you ready to come home yet? You ready to come home? And my grandmother over there crying and, I just miss you so much. And then I get here and they treat me like a dog when I get here. I've talked about this before, but I'm going to keep talking about it because it's still on my nerves. My great-grandfather, my mama got married. pissed my great-grandfather off because she's his favorite. He lives for her. Everything is my mama down for both of my great-grandparents. It's just all about her, which is fine. I don't necessarily feel no kind of way about it because that's how they treat everybody but my mama. My grandmama, aunts, uncles, everybody, they're not as important as my mama, and that's fine. Absolutely fine. She's their first grandbaby. Wonderful, beautiful. But my mama got married, and this pissed off my great-grandfather because she got married and they wanted to move into a new house. Now, I wasn't interested in this marriage. And I know I'm spilling some teas today. Hope, my mama don't get mad. But my mother has been married several times. I've been through this with her several times. Many times. And I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't feel it. And my mother does this thing where she goes into, well, I waited for you to be grown before I got married again. But I was still living in her house. I was trying to do school and this and that and the other. I was not actually grown. I'm still not like grown. And she goes into, I waited for you to be grown, and I waited, blah, blah, blah. And she didn't talk to me at all. I'm getting emotional. Excuse me. She didn't talk to me. My mama does not talk to me hardly at all. Don't nobody ever talk to me. She didn't talk to me. I'm trying to be a team sport because she wants me to get along with her, her new boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, okay, well, let's plan out this birthday party. Cool. I'm helping him plan out this birthday party, trying to be, a sport. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a surprise. We're going to get her here. We sneaker here. It's all very gravy and great. He proposes at the birthday party. Ain't told me, I was finna cuss. Ain't told me squat. So I'm shook because ain't nobody talking to me. Ain't nobody saying nothing to me. So I'm sitting over there at the birthday party, upset. The girls, half of the girls are congratulating her. The other girls are consoling me because I hate being blindsided. So she's going on, da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. He lived in another city, so they doing the back and forth thing. I'm gonna go visit him. He gonna come visit up here, blah, blah, blah. It was fine. I kind of had gotten over the sneak proposal that ain't nobody told me about and all of this. Whatever. So then they get married. I'm uninterested. I threw on a little dress and popped down there and stood, and she wanted me to videotape. I videotaped. I did her hair and makeup. She looked beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I was so through by that time. So I did her hair and makeup, blah, 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 all of that. They went off on their honeymoon. I went to a little festival, had a good time that day, didn't care nothing hardly about this marriage because he still lived down there. She still lived up here. So they do, back and forth commuting, being married for like a year. And my grandmother called me one day. She got me on the phone and said, okay, so your they moving into their house next month. What are you going to do? I said, well, that doesn't make sense because my mama didn't tell me they was moving into their house next month on the 15th and what I'm supposed to do. So my grandmother had to call me and let me know that my life and my house was about to change. I wasn't going to be able to live in there with my mama, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Fine. Let me figure out something. So I go to my great-grandparents. I said, can I just stay in the house? This is their house. I said, can I just stay in the house? I'm working. I'll be able to pay you a little something, blah, blah, blah. Just let me figure something out. Initially, the conversation was okay, sure. Then it was, well, maybe we need to find you, a roommate. We'll section off the house and have two separate houses in the house. I didn't care for it. And, whatever. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. Before I can even figure out anything, there are people in my house literally building up a giant partition that did not section the house off evenly. He left me my bedroom and the washer and dryer. I didn't have, and then they built a little piece of a bathroom. I didn't have a shower. I didn't have anything but my bedroom and no washer and dryer. So I'm depressed, obviously. My car had broke down at the beginning of the year. This was, by the time he was building the house, this was about August or so. No, this wasn't even August. This was summer of last year, I guess. Somewhere in June. My car broke down in, December, 30th of, the year before last year. So I didn't have a car. I now don't have a house. So I got to move in over there with my mama and her husband, and they don't tell me nothing. And I just don't like this. I'm already very anxious, already very shy. I'm having a hard time. I'm an introvert. There are people here that I don't know. People always come into the house, family, company, all of that. And it's just so hard for me. It's still very, very hard for me. But we just gonna pretend like it's not, because that's all I ever do is pretend like I'm fine when I'm really just over here about to kill myself. But it's fine. It's okay. Anyway, so that goes on. I have to end up moving in, blah, blah, blah. Now, October of last year, my job closed. They were moving to another city. It's about 30 minutes away from where it was before. which is absolutely fine. That's cool. 30 minutes ain't too bad. My grandmother came up to my job and told me, you can't go to that other job. You need to go to this job in particular, blah, blah, blah. Pressuring me down boots. So I end up going to this other job. My job, closes. I'm depressed because my job was my only reprieve. The only place I could go. Hold on, because I ain't a bitch. I'm not finna cry right now because I gotta go to work. My job was the only place I could go to have people in my life who understood that I'm depressed, I'm anxious, and this and that. It was the only place where I had some reprieve. It was a bookstore. It was quiet. Wasn't too much going on. It was fine. Anyway, so I had to go to this other job. It was a lot of bull swanky at this job, this new job. They hated my hair. Everything about me was just wrong from the moment I got there. I can't take that kind of pressure. I'm already going through too much. I ain't got a car. I ain't got a house. I ain't got this, that, and ain't nobody talking to me. Niggas is in my house building, while I'm in their sleep. Don't nobody care that I have chronic, illnesses. I don't feel good. 90% of my life, I don't feel good. Don't nobody care. Nobody cares. It's just suck it up. You'll be fine. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm really just over here ready to die. Just all the time, I'm ready. Anyway, so where was I? They shut down the job. I had to go to this other job. I ended up having to leave that job because I literally had a breakdown. I couldn't do it anymore. On top of me just being sick, I was actually physically sick. My lungs and stuff were shutting down. It was not a good time for me. And then it was just too much pressure over there to not be just genuinely myself. It was too much. So I'm over there. I had to quit that job. I'm jobless, from, September to January. I didn't have a job, but I had some money saved up. So I just spent sparingly, ran through that savings. So now I don't have anything saved up. And I start this new job. It's cool. It's fine. It's whatever. My grandfather, around the time of me starting this new job, my grandfather's like, okay, well, come on, let's go down to the car dealership. I'm going to get you a car. We go down to the car dealership, and the car that I've been praying for, the car I wanted, was sitting right there on the lot. It was clearance. It was a perfectly fine car. It had been used or whatever, and they had it on clearance. My grandfather haggled it down, and he brought the price down, even more. It was already cheap. He brought it down cheaper. And they're like, all right, come on, let's go sign these papers. We get in there, we sit down, we get ready to sign the paperwork, and my grandfather says, oh, never mind. And we go back home. So now I still don't have a car. You lied to me and told me you was going to get me a car. And I don't have a car. It hurt. I cried. And me and my grandfather have not really had a relationship since then. Okay, so it shut off, which was fine. So anyway, me and my great-grandfather I ain't had much for him since then. For some reason, I'm just really the outcast. And it's stressful. But that wasn't even really the point of this video. The point of this video is I am so anxious and depressed all the time. It's terrible. I feel like I'm getting on these videos, I'm talking to nobody about nothing, and it's just a difficult existence I live. It's really stressful. And it's ingrained because my family, and they hate it, but whatever. They are such negative people. And it's wild because they're so negative, but when I say something negative, then they're like, well, don't you talk about yourself like that, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, girl, anytime I say I want to do something, you hit me with the, well, no, you can't because, and so, and you, and this. And I'm just like, if you would just shut up and let me do my thing. Just be quiet and let me do my thing. Everybody always got something to say when it comes to me. And I don't, okay, backing out at the bank, in the booth, like, sis. Anyway, just let me have my process. Let me work my process. But don't nobody ever do that. So anyway, I'm just sad. I'm super sad all the time. It's just draining to be, alive and a human, and I just hate it so much. And then I get on these videos and I don't talk about too much of anything. A couple of the people like it. But what's so baffling to me is on my Facebook, I say a lot of the same stuff that I say on these videos. And the girls will like the statuses and haha, you so funny, and text and be like, girl, living for you. And it's like, okay, but why you can't just come support my videos? Like, just click on it, sis. It don't take much. It does not take a lot out of you to click the video. And I don't want to sound like one of those people who are always complaining, because I do appreciate, I've recently gotten to 100 subscribers. I got my 10,000 views. I got approved for monetization. One of my videos hit over 1,000 views. So I'm moving up. It's just so hard not to have support. And not even really with the YouTube thing, just in general, I feel like I don't really have support because, you know, the girls, I'm trying not to say my family because I have a family member who really, it gets under her skin when I say my family, and it's like, okay, well, sis, do better then. I mean, no shade, but if you feel like I'm talking about you, then just do better. There's no need to attack me. Just treat me better. But anyway, the girls, you know, they want me to do what they want me to do, and if it's anything outside of that, then it's just horrible. It's the worst, and how dare you do anything outside of me telling you to do this. And it's just, mostly what they want me to do is go to church. Now, I went to church for 21 consecutive years. And it's like, I could take a little time now. I could take time because you took time. Everybody has their time, and I'm not even a heathen. I'm not out here doing anything but going to work and going home. You out here, you got all these stories about you was wild and you was doing this and you was doing that and your little hot pants and carrying on. And you all right, you still gonna make it into heaven. So why can't I? And I understand, you know, the world is coming to an end. It's getting all worse and this and that and the other. But you know, not the day nor the hour. So why are you stressing me? Because I could go and I could get saved, you know, real saved, and, you know, be in church for the next 50 years and then be tempted, you know, on my 50th year in one day and go, you know, out and gamble and smoke and drink and carry on and all the things that y'all say are sins. And then I could die that very day and go to hell. So why are we stressing so much? Why are we I could repent tomorrow and die and go to heaven. We just don't know. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Let me work my process. I'm the type of person. I'm just really venting today. I'm the type, because I'm in a mood. I'm in one of those moods, and everybody's always, I get real quiet usually in these moods, and everybody is just like, oh, well, she's antisocial, she don't talk. So I'm gonna put this video out, and if you watch it and you one of the girls that's always, oh, she's antisocial, she don't talk, watch this video and know that I'm really brewing inside. I'm brewing, I'm upset, and I just don't talk to you because I don't feel like you will understand. But whatever. Anyway, I lost my train of thought, but it's just very stressful being me. And I know it's not just me, I know it's a lot of folks, but it's just I'm not into this whole living and existing thing. It's draining me, but whatever, I got to do it, so I'm here. But I'm not interested. Anyway, I guess that's all I got for right now. Whatever.